There are so many interesting, horrifying, or downright weird things in this big world of ours.
Each week, we'll bring you a new true crime story that has little to no coverage in English.
Let us do the translations, so you don't have to.
I am Petra.
I'm Victoria.
And I'm Laura, and welcome to the podcast Translation Murder. Yeah, so it's my turn this week, and we have a Finnish case, as I alluded to last time, and it's the first of its kind in Finland, which kind of misled me for a little bit, but you'll kind of understand why, and I'll explain. Because it's not like the first type of murder like this, but then there's like one thing that makes it a bit more interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
So have either of you heard of Tor, like TOR, this online? network?
Isn't that
like onion web thingy?
Yes.
the
Yeah.
browser to browse the
Yes.
dark web?
Yes. Well,
Yes.
yeah. Well, okay, yeah. So there's like a bit of distinction between things. So it's basically multiple things in one. So it's an overlay network, which is similar to a VPN. So it kind of hides your IP address or like can make you appear in a different country, for instance, right? It's also a mixed network, and this takes messages from multiple senders and shuffles them and sends them back into a random order to the next destination. It's also an onion router, and that's why this is called the onion network, as Petra pointed out. And so this means that it's encapsulated in layers of encryption, much like an onion, so like different layers, because onions are layered, right? And then it's an all in all, it's a anonymity application, and it's basically designed to be used so that the user is anonymous. So in itself, Tor is not illegal to use, but it has been used for both legal and illegal purposes. So it usually gets a bad rap from many people using it synonymously with the dark web.
Which is what I just did, yes.
Yes, yeah. So basically, like in itself, it's not like dark web is kind of contained, as far as I understood it, it's like dark web is contained within the Tor network, but the Tor network is not inherently dark web, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So you might have the possibility to find darknet marketplaces, and this is where illicit transactions can occur, much like the marketplace that was called Silk Road. And this was a digital black market platform that was popular for hosting money laundering activities and illegal drug transactions. And the very common, popular payment method, can you guys guess what it would be? Like, what it would be? This, how do you pay for things? You're not going to use your credit card. You're not going to use cash.
Bitcoin?
Yes, good.
That's
Yeah. So that's like the go-to method that everybody's using for their payment, right? And so yeah, Silk Road itself, just this example of this digital black market, it was shut down in 2013 by the FBI. And this is kind of like contrary to people, you know, what they think. Like, it's not infallible to find people on the dark web and like find out who they are, but it's extremely difficult. And okay, I'm not going to go into the closure of the Silk Road because that's kind of out of scope of this, but it was just kind of interesting that I found it also along the lines of this. So yeah, we could of course, you know, discuss the ethics of anonymous web networks, but for most people that are posting in these channels, like, they're mostly trolls, right? You rarely get someone serious who is going to actually do something, like murder someone, for instance, or be a hitman. You're gonna get like mostly cops, right? Who are pretending, or FBI. Like, kind of goes both ways, because you can have, you know, FBI agents or DEA agents or whatever using this to kind of track things on these forums and whatnot, as well as the, you know, crime doers. So you can kind of set up a sting operation if you wanted to. So yeah. So
But just if I can say something that comes to my mind about the topic. is that when I've read like this everything should be like, we shouldn't allow this to exist, but then we have like states where it is good that this kind of thing exists, like North Korea. I don't know if it's popular there, but I mean that you can actually escape the eyes of the government.
Yeah, no, and
Because
that's the
government is
ethics
not
of
always
this.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, and that's indeed like the ethics of this that we could discuss for a whole episode if we wanted to, because like indeed they are good. Like to be anonymous in some places, like it's indeed for the best, and then in other, if you're going to acquire like child porn or drugs or something, then maybe not so much. Like these
Yeah,
people
I
should
mean,
not be anonymous.
it's just
So
the usual story that people
yeah,
ruin this, like every good thing.
yeah,
Humans
yeah,
come and they
yeah,
fuck it up.
yeah, pretty much. So yeah, so as I said, but you know, there's mostly trolls on these pages,
Yeah.
but when you get someone who's serious, that's the beginning of our tale. So our
Ooh.
story starts with an ad on the dark web left by a user called Mustakolmio. And Mustakolmio means black triangle. And where they advertised this on, I guess, one of the forum boards. I don't know. I don't know if I want to read like all the Finnish. I just did the translations, but I also have the Finnish here. But it's like rat poisoning, black triangle, the 20th of November 2019. Rat problem? No worries. That was like the title, I guess, of the post. And
Okay.
yeah. And
Sounds like
obviously
some kind
rat
of
poisoning is a euphemism for something else. Like
yeah.
like
I was
not
just going to say that, like, they are probably not talking about rat poison.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, I didn't know how to translate this. Like, it's kind of a weird word. Hengen lähtö palveluita. Like, from here. Okay, so he's like, from here, end of life or departure services. Like, okay.
Yeah, well,
Euthanasia,
hengen lähtö, like
Yeah.
just losing your life.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but then but then how do you put like the services? Like, it's kind of end of life ending services. Okay, yeah, it's just a bit weird, like
It
word
doesn't
in my
make
mind.
really sense in Finnish, so
Yeah. No, it
yeah,
doesn't. So it
to
was kind
me.
of hard to translate that one, but yeah.
Yeah.
So euthanasia, voluntary or involuntary. Perhaps there would perhaps there would be life insurance or an inheritance to collect. Is someone threatening your safety? There is no valid reason for murder, and suicide is never the right solution. We are all selfish monsters. Send a message and we'll make a suitable deal for you. Mustakolmio, black triangle. And then BTC, Bitcoin escrow, primarily. I'm serious, and I'm not a troll. And that's the end of the
Oh,
message.
oh, now I believe you.
Yeah,
If you
yeah,
say that you're not a troll. Okay,
yeah,
well, I mean, maybe
yeah,
he really isn't.
yeah. So, so I mean, breaking down the message, it sounds pretty like, okay. I don't know, it almost sounds like a movie or something where someone wants to be a fucking hitman writing a fucking ad, and yeah,
I
we'll make a
think I know
suitable
this
deal for you.
case.
Oh, you do? Okay, fuck. Okay. Well, it
But
is
no,
quite.
I don't
It
remember
is.
the details. But yeah, I just have a feeling that I read about this.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
pretty recent. If this was, you said it was posted in 2019.
yeah. So it takes place
Mhm.
in 2020. This case. So yeah, during the pandemic or right before the pandemic.
Mm.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. I found this on this Yle article, and they had like these kind of screenshots or like some dictation of messages. I think on the one of these boards. So I don't know if this was initiating actually from the payer or like the person who is hiring someone like in this actual case, but there were some interesting like messages pulled from the forums basically from this tour. On the 22nd of November 2019, an anonymous user responds with, "What are the prices of your services?" question mark. On the 22nd of November 2019, the anonymous user also sends a message, "Moi fobba." And apparently this is like this means like high police because there was this one
Ah,
like guy, like this cop who used Fobba as a username, like on some like Ylilauta board or something like that, on some other forum. And so now, and then it came out that, yeah, he was indeed a cop. So now people always refer to cops on these types of forums as Fobba. So FYI. So moi
Yeah,
Fobba.
Fobba is popular.
Yeah. So then the response from Mustakolmio on the 22nd, so the same day. I can go relatively cheap right now as there is no flood of customers.
That's surprising.
Yeah. It depends on the difficulty of the case. It's a different thing to list some big boss for 2 weeks, only knowing their name and city, than it is to kill a narc in a month from where I know everything is possible in style. I don't know, it's difficult to translate, but that's kind of basically, yeah, it's different because, you know, different to kill someone who is well known versus someone who's kind of expecting to die or like risky lifestyle liver or something like that. And then on the 23rd, a day later, anonymous user responds, "What kind of escrow is it?" And then like smiley face. And then they also respond a day later, hee smiley face. Just it sounds like little kids playing on the internet.
Yeah.
And then on the 25th, Mustakolmio responds, 4 to 9,000 euros. The price includes intelligence, preparation, and murder. The body is either disposed of or staged as a suicide, accident, or natural cause. If I know that it is not easily possible, I will confirm with you whether it would be a problem if the case were investigated as a murder. We try to fulfill special wishes, and depending upon the wishes, the price may increase. So yeah. That sounded actually a bit professional, but still.
Yeah, but also like just kind of typing out all of this information without getting anything else from the other person, like
Yeah.
who might want to hire them, like what are they specifically interested in paying for? I don't know, it's just very specific.
Yeah. But yeah, so then so these were happening in November of 2019. And then, stupidly, in December, there was a WordPress webpage created called palkkamurha.wordpress.com. So, like, murderforhire.wordpress.com. And had the Mustakolmio mark, or like the logo, and then it said Mustakolmio. And then this was acting as his like web page. So this wasn't on the Tor service, which, you know, it's on fucking WordPress. So I'm pretty sure, I don't know, like I'm pretty sure this could be tracked to someone, right? Eventually, like IP address or something. So yeah. So then the next event in this story is when a guy from Jyväskylä arrives at a bus terminal in Tampere on January 20th, 2020. So there's snow on the ground, the temperature is slightly below freezing. It's typical January, okay, actually maybe a bit warmer than typical January weather. And this guy's dressed in a hooded jacket, kind of like a winter jacket, with a white hood, and appears to have a large shoulder. And all of this is caught from the cameras, the surveillance cameras at the actual like Tampere terminal, like the bus terminal surveillance cameras. So he starts walking towards the railway station underpass, and his eventual destination will be the Viala area in Tampere, and specifically a street called Vasaratie. And I think this is actually known as kind of like the Vasaratie murder or something like that in some of the newspapers. So maybe that's how you know it, Petra. And also Tampere is a big city, and this was kind of a bit of a shocking murder. So yeah. So this Vasaratie is about 5 kilometers away from the bus terminal to the east, like a little bit southeast or east-ish from the bus terminal. And this area is kind of generally hailed as a quiet neighborhood. And there's predominantly like omakotitalot, so the single family homes, and luhtitalot, which I don't know if we have a word for this in English actually, but it's kind of a apartment building, usually 3, 4, whatever stories tall, and then the staircase is on the outside of the building, so not on the inside.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I don't know what
Which,
those are
I don't
which
know
called
is
in
if there's a
English.
quite common, I think, in many countries. Because in Finland, it's
Yeah.
more common to have the staircase inside the house. But I think, for example, in Japan, it's often outside. And I don't know, in many movies that I see from the USA, I've seen this in the outside.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's quite common. I think maybe like more in cities, like proper cities with like apartment flats or like these huge buildings, and it's going to be on the inside. But yeah, I never lived in an apartment building before moving to Finland, but I've lived in a luhtitalo
Yeah.
once, yeah, in
Yes, me
Kauniainen.
too.
So
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
yeah, it's kind
quite
of
common.
it's kind of yeah, it's a bit inconvenient in Finland because of the winter, because sometimes the snow gets on the steps and it gets a bit icy, and if it's
Yeah.
not properly like covered and stuff. So yeah, there's mostly those types of apartment buildings, so not like super tall apartment buildings. There are a few here, but not like you'd get predominantly within the center of Tampere, for instance. So it's more of like a sleepy little family area of Tampere. So yeah, so eventually, the guy, and I don't remember what time he arrived at the bus terminal, but I guess it was probably maybe like 1 or something o'clock in the morning or 2 something. Yeah. But he arrives at his destination to a 3-story luhtitalo on Vassaratie at 3:46 a.m. And at the same time, a message arrives on the Wicker app. So this app kind of is reminiscent of WhatsApp, if you know what that is. Not you, Victoria and Petra, because that's what we use to
Yeah, yeah.
talk
I
to each
was like,
other.
yeah, I know what's up.
But I think like US users, maybe not so much. They don't really know WhatsApp as well as European users, for instance.
Oh,
So
really? I didn't know that.
yeah, at least I don't know. My parents use it because I use it, and like my friends use it because I use it, but it's kind of more of a rare thing. At least it was a couple of years ago. So
I mean,
yeah,
it's owned by Meta.
yeah, now it is, but I think before that
Yeah.
it was like yeah. So,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
think that was also one of the reasons why people don't want to use it. They would rather use like Telegram and other apps because then they don't want to use
Signal
Meta.
and yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, Wicker is basically like WhatsApp, but then apparently quote unquote more secure, kind of like Telegram, etc. So there's the message that he gets at 3:46 from a user called Varasukka, which means like spare sock or extra sock or whatever
Yeah.
sock. Yeah. And says, Varasukka says, Moi muru, miten menee? So basically, hi darling, how's it going? And then musta kolmio. So this stupid ass, okay, maybe I should refrain from calling people stupid asses because they'll eventually get out of prison. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. So musta kolmio uses the same name that they use on the Tor site, which I don't know, seems a bit stupid in my mind. I wouldn't reuse names on all of my platforms or phone or
Yeah, in
whatever.
these types of situations especially.
Yeah. So yeah. So then Mustakolmio responds, Hyvin, näin ketun, and which means like, well, I saw a fox. And I didn't know if this was code for something. Like, was this code for the
I got to the location or
Yeah, I
something.
got to the location, or I saw the person who I'm supposed to murder, basically,
Mhm.
or I don't know. Yeah, but maybe they did see a fox because they are common around here.
Oh
so-
yeah.
And these people are just, they want to communicate about the sight of a fox.
Yeah, exactly. And then Varasukka comments back like heart emoji, cool, heart eyes emoji, otraksu. So like, yeah, cool. And then you're darling or a deer or whatever.
Yeah, I
And
think
then
that would like translate kind of I love you written with
Yeah.
LUV.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. True.
Kind of
And
this
then more.
very young lovers
Yes. And then
communication that they're trying to.
Yeah, exactly. Like this sounds exactly like someone who's like fucking 15 or 16 or maybe a bit older, but not much older. Like definitely less than 20. If like
Yeah.
communicating, I feel. And musta kolmio responds is like sä suuren suuri raksu. So yeah. So yeah. Yeah. That's just very cutesy kind of talk like that you would like we just discussed between two teenage lovers or something, right? Sounding a bit like immature love, basically. Yeah. So all of this was happening basically between 3:46 and I think like 3:50 something or 3 whatever, basically before 4 o'clock. This concluded the conversation. And then at approximately 6:30 to 6:45, the man who had traveled from the bus terminal to this neighborhood opens the black bag that he was carrying over his shoulder this whole time. He takes off his jacket and slips on a bathrobe over his clothes. He then also slips into Crocs. Well, obviously takes his other shoes off and slips into Crocs. And then he takes a piece of rope and cable ties from his bag. He also stuffs an airsoft gun and a folding knife into the pockets of the bathrobe. And then he takes a newspaper from the paper recycle bin, and then he walks to an apartment on the street level. So, and on the Luhtitalo, it's the ground level of this Luhtitalo. So yeah, almost like, I don't know, the article that I was reading also kind of made it seem a bit like movie-like, and I liked it that way, so I had to put it in here as almost movie-like. At the exact same time, a woman wakes up to her husband's phone alarm. This rouses him eventually from his slumber, and he's supposed to begin his workday. But suddenly, there is a scream outside, which alerts the woman, who looks out the window blinds to see something transpiring below her on the ground floor outside.
So this was the same. It was the apartment right above where
Yes.
things were happening.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
So she sees seeing this.
Yeah, basically the next floor up, she sees all this happening. Yeah. So what she sees is a naked man lying in the snow, and another man is beating him. Weirdly, the attacker is not dressed in normal outerwear. That's something she notes to, like, okay, weird, the guy's wearing a fucking bathrobe or something, and yeah.
Yeah, super. I mean, it makes it more scary. I would be
Yeah,
scared.
yeah, almost like a random fucking psychopathic like attacker or something. Just
Yeah.
Did they escape from a mental asylum or something like that, wearing a bathrobe or I don't know. Yeah, definitely horror film-esque. Yeah. So the woman, after seeing this, she alerts her husband, and they both see like below that there's just like blood red snow just covering around this man. And this is the remnant that they see of this brutal attack, but the perpetrator is no longer in sight. So they have the victim, and then his body is surrounded in blood, which is being soaked up by the snow. And then at 7:13, the couple calls the cops, but 20 minutes later, like after, so 7:33 basically, a man in the yard, he seems to be like shoveling the red snow like into a different area, like doing snow work on this one part of the like path basically outside of this. Yeah.
What man?
Yeah, so they're just like a different man. It's not the same guy, apparently, right?
Or at least they don't have the bathrobe anymore.
Ding ding. So yeah, this random guy, or so they think, is just shoveling the red snow, around, trying to like do some cleanup, I guess, right?
Janitor is like, oh, I have to shovel some.
Yeah. Oops, someone made a mistake. Someone spilled some wine. Yeah. I'm not supposed to be laughing, but it's just like,
yeah. I mean,
dear
sorry.
God. Yeah.
It's
No.
weird.
It's exactly like
This has been really weird. This whole story.
Yeah, it'll get weirder.
Oh.
It'll get actually funny at one point. Like I had laughed out loud when I was reading some information, but yeah, but in a good way. It's not because at the behest of the victim or anything like that, but just a funny background information about the perpetrator. But yeah, you can make fun of the perpetrator for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I said, the couple called at 7:13, and then the police arrive at 8:06, which is about 53 minutes since that initial emergency call.
That's slow.
Yes, it fucking is. Especially like Viala. If you think, okay,
It's not
even it
like outside Tampere. It's like
no,
kind of inside. I mean, it's
yeah,
part of the city, right?
it's part of the city. Yeah, indeed, it's
And
5
Tampere has the
kilometers.
police school. Like Tampere is the city of the police. What is this shit?
Yeah, I think they just didn't realize how serious it was because I think they were just confused by like what is fucking happening, and then like
Hey,
like
someone is beating a man here.
yeah.
Oh, okay, probably nothing.
And I mean, the people that were watching from upstairs are like, do we go to work right now? Like, what do we do? Because, like, I mean, the guy is still probably outside. Like, he probably saw them, or like, I don't know.
Or
Just
even if he didn't, he can be some psychopath who just attacks randomly people in.
exactly. So
Yeah,
they were
I
like, what do we
probably
do?
wouldn't go outside. Maybe.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wouldn't.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, what the fuck do we do? And so they probably like, of course, they probably guess there's a lot of blood or something. Someone's being attacked outside of a window, whatever. Like, but then they just didn't take it seriously. But literally, it probably would take 10 minutes or something to drive from center of Tampere to Viala or less, I guess, because it's like 5 kilometers. And the only thing that I could think about is if there's morning traffic or something like that in the center, because of course people are going to work at this time. But if you're a cop car, of course you can get there
That
quicker than
shouldn't
a
really
normal
slow you
person.
down.
Yeah, so I would say 10 minutes max, basically. So
Yeah, I mean, where is the closest police station?
yeah, I mean the one that I know is like literally right across the street from the bus terminal. So it's like on the corner from the bus terminal, which is 5 kilometers away from this neighborhood. So within 5 kilometers, yeah, even less than 10 minutes. So yeah, so they arrive 53 minutes later. We can question why that is.
Wait, sorry, another comment. It just
Yeah.
somehow feels like, I don't know, maybe this is just it's just my subjective opinion, but somehow it feels like in Finland there's like most of the time nothing is happening, like nothing exciting, like not really that much crime.
Yeah.
There's some, of course, crime, but nothing too serious most of the time. And then suddenly there are these super weird, crazy stuff, like a few of these cases.
Yeah, it's
I
almost
think
like
we've
Stranger
covered
Than
some of
Fiction.
those. Yeah,
definitely.
we've covered some of those on the podcast, but it feels like mostly nothing, and then a few like really over the top cases. So I don't know if
Yeah.
maybe the police is also, because of the general like uneventfulness, they might be more like, well, this is probably not that serious. It's not an excuse because, of course, still, I mean, 53 minutes is very, very slow, but I don't know if this is one of the reasons why they just don't react fast enough when there's really something serious for once.
Yeah, that could be it. Very well, could be it. It's just, I don't know. 53 minutes is ridiculous. And I think they even had the code like stabbing, beating, kicking, like because they have the police codes. And I think those were even mentioned. So I think with stabbing, you would assume that it would be quite a quick response from the police. But 53 minutes is fucking ridiculous. Yeah. But yeah, good point you brought up. So yeah. When the police arrive, little do they know that the perpetrator is still in the vicinity and he's watching them. So he observes the police operations like tens of meters, like a couple tens of meters away in the yard of the apartment complex. And I guess he doesn't really necessarily seem suspicious, like covered in blood or whatever, because he's already stuffed the Crocs and the bathrobe back into the black bag and has donned his jacket and outdoor shoes. So he's indeed shifted clothes, and I think that's the other reason why Petra pointed out that he's probably not wearing the bathrobe to go shovel some fucking snow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, this part was actually pretty genius, I would say, the bathrobe and the shoes, but yeah, like this part was well planned out in my opinion.
Yeah,
And
so
then
I
there's
guess he
also
just wanted to seem like he's one of the neighbors, and then just kind of came out of the apartment wearing a
exactly,
bathrobe. Mm-hmm.
exactly, and that he brings that up later on too. That basically he, wanted to pretend to be locked out. He was one of the neighbors to get access to the neighbor that he wanted, or like the victim. Yeah, so that part was actually pretty genius in my opinion. Because what are you gonna do? Like, it's fucking cold in the morning, and your neighbor's in a bathrobe and Crocs. I doubt it's gonna be someone who's not, from the area. So
Yeah.
yeah. So always be cautious. That's the public service announcement. Never open your door to anybody that you do not know, including someone who looks like they're freezing on your front door.
Yep.
Maybe, unless it's a child
Or I don't know. I mean,
or an old
I don't
person.
know.
I don't know. Okay, it depends. It depends. Use your best
Yeah,
judgment.
I mean, yeah. If you have a freezing person there and you're like, I'm not opening it, you might be a murderer. I think that's a bit weird, but
yeah.
well, yeah. Be cautious.
Be cautious. Be cautious. Yeah. So yeah, he stashed. So after he stuffed all of his stuff into the black bag, he then stashes this bag in one of the neighboring houses' sandboxes. So in Finland, you have these hiekalaatikot, like these boxes. Basically, when it gets icy in the wintertime, you can put some sand down, so then it's like you're not slippery around some areas. And then after he stashes it in one of the sandboxes, he then flees the scene. Yeah. So yeah, at 7:55, so a bit before the police actually arrive, because remember they arrived at 8:06. So at 7:55, some fucking banal messages arrive from Varasukka again. And it goes as, I'm putting in applications and I don't know what would have been the degree in the university. Okay, something like so random and just like, just fucking random that you'd obviously discuss with your significant other. Like, oh yeah, I'm doing this today or whatever. Like,
Yeah, and very
okay.
little context and so on.
Yeah. And then Mustakolmio responds like, I love you. And then Varasukka responds as, how are you? And then Mustakolmio, bad. Things went to piss and I left witnesses. And then Varasukka. And then
They try so hard with all
And then
this
he
code
just
line.
forgets the whole code language thing.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Like, oh, the fox was hit by a
The
car
fox
or
escaped.
something.
Yeah, the fox had friends and they watched me try to, I don't know. Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm sorry.
And then
It's just like it's too funny.
yeah, and then Varasukka then responds, "Oh poop." Not even like voi paska, but what was it like? Voi kakka. Like sounds so you
Sounds
can't
like
even like
kindergarten kid.
yes, exactly. Not allowed to swear or something like oh kakka instead of like shit. Basically poop
Yeah.
instead of shit, which is I find hilarious for some reason. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so then at 8:18, more messages appear on Wicker. Mustakolmio sends, can you give me a ride? Sikoniska 94. So Pigneck 94. I can't, not when I'm not myself in the Tampere area. Did you get the thing done? Or Mustakolmio. The thing was a success, but it got a bit dirty, and there's a bit of blood, and I can't change clothes. And then also, it's a good thing to mention at this point that his finger is bleeding, probably from like the numerous knife stabs, because like it's very common in, I don't know if Petra knows this, but I think Victoria and I have encountered this on many podcasts.
Yes. Get slippery.
Yeah. So like, I'm always like, why don't people wear leather gloves or have a knife that has a hilt, so your fingers don't slide over the blade? But yeah, most people
So
actually, yeah.
when you stab, that
Yeah.
you get. Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
know
so it's
this.
actually more common than not. Like, I think basically almost every single time, depending on how many
Yeah.
stabs, of course. If it's one stab, then you're not going to get any slippage. But if it's
Yeah.
like more than a couple stabs, then your hand is going to slide down eventually on the knife and you're going to cut your finger or hand.
Ooh. Yeah.
So, yeah. So basically, his finger's bleeding at this point. So that was just something that is a bit telling also, and also helps with the police investigation a bit later if you're, you have a person who has a very severe slice to their finger. Either they're a chef or, I don't know,
A
put
murderer.
themselves like a murderer. Yeah. So, but yeah. So he can't change clothes. And then Siganiska 94, what will you do now? Osta kolmio. Get a ride. I'm already far from that place. Siganiska. Good thing. I'll make a new wicker and remove this and your contact completely. I'll send you a message and then speak of nothing but money there. Musta kolmio. If you come and get me, there's a lot smaller risk of getting caught. Sikanishka. I don't have a car. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm always also curious about this too, that why do people send messages? Calling in these situations would be better because it would just show that they made a call,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but then there would be no trace of the
Mhm.
actual call.
But
You know?
no one likes calling others
Yeah.
anymore.
It's
Didn't
just
you know?
like because our generation is the murderers now, so they just can't call.
Yeah. Yeah.
They get too anxious. They just can't.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay, now a little bit more about the actual investigation. So, in the end, the investigation reveals that the victim was killed with dozens of knife stabs. So, I don't know, didn't really say an exact number, but anywhere from 12 to 24 to 36 to 48, whatever. And the general scene and the intel from the witnesses lead the investigators to believe that the attack was premeditated. And the victim was bound with cable ties, but they had come off. And it appears that the perpetrator attempted to clean up with a brand called Soft Cleaner in the victim's residence in the hallway. So I guess there were some like white residue or like white, not stains, but basically like the cleaner, I guess, in the hallway. So they had apparently tried to clean something, maybe their own blood. I don't know. And other witnesses also make comments about a man doing snow work on the blood red snow. So yeah, this is definitely the like I don't know, he
Like,
could
what
have
was
just
the
gotten
point
away.
of that?
I don't know. I think maybe he
Maybe his own blood. Like if he
yeah,
saw him dripping there, so he wanted to mix it so it's not easy to
yeah.
get a sample of it or something.
That's what I was thinking indeed. That I felt like he realized he had cut his finger. He's like, "Oh fuck, there's blood. They can get a DNA sample. So then I'll just
Mhm.
mix it, like make a little blood snow cone or something, like with I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah. So yeah, the cops bring in a dog, and this dog was able to track the perpetrator about 700 meters away until it loses the scent. And more importantly, at the scene, there are traces of blood from the perpetrator and fingerprints. So, like I said, from that cut on his finger. And the kicker, an airsoft pistol was obtained in the apartment, of which shouldn't have been there, according to other like people who live in that apartment. So we'll get to
Or he
that.
just left
in
it
a
there.
Yeah, he accidentally, because I don't know, I'm just thinking of my own bathrobe. Like the pockets are really shitty. They're not super deep. They're just kind of,
Yeah.
I don't know, big enough to fit your hand in, a little bit bigger than your hand. So I'm just thinking maybe they were just really shitty pockets and it happened to fall out. Because I think he took the knife with him. That wasn't found, but the airsoft pistol just happened to fall out because the pocket might have been small. Who knows? Yeah, that's what I was thinking when I was reading this, at least. So yeah, so there's plenty of evidence at the scene, which will be good because, of course, then if they get an actual suspect, if they find anything, they can, you know, use it for DNA, and then the fingerprints are like, okay, if you have DNA and fingerprints in blood, I think
Yeah.
you're pretty much golden for conviction. So yeah. Okay, so a little bit about the victim. So this man, they don't say the name of this guy, but I guess you could figure it out if you, since okay, well, yeah, you could figure it out, but I didn't want to say it. So,
Mm-hmm.
this man was born in 1976, and he had been staying with his common law wife, who was born in 1970. So basically, in Finland, and I think most of the countries, I think it's like if you live together for 3 years or something, or you're together for 3 years, then you can become a common law or an avopari, is what we
Yeah.
call it in Finland. So, and yeah, so she was the one that is the primary resider at this Vasarotie, but then he's registered to a different address. She's registered to this Vasarotie address, but she's out of town during this murder. So, yeah, conspicuous, not conspicuous, I don't know. What do you? Yeah.
I don't know. I
I
would be
mean,
just like, maybe it's the boyfriend staying there, girlfriend doing some stuff outside the town. Not so suspicious, really.
Yeah.
yeah, could be anything. Is it like common that she stays somewhere else because of
Well, she's on a
work
work
or
trip.
other reason?
She's on a work trip
Yeah.
right now. So, yeah. So the woman is able to reveal that the victim called her on WhatsApp at 6:12 in the morning, saying that he was on the exercise bike, but the call was short because she didn't want to wake up her travel companion. So she was probably staying in the same room in a hotel or something with her travel companions. And yeah, I guess she's not on a work trip. I just assumed that it was work, but I guess not. Yeah, anyway, okay, so she's just out of town, like literally out of town. And so the question is then, if, she's gone, who knew that he would be alone in the apartment, right?
Or is that even important? I mean, did he have to be alone? Or of course,
I
if it
mean,
was a target and it was planned, it's easier if he's alone. But
yeah, I mean, the police think it was premeditated, like based
yeah,
off of the robe and the jacket and that type of
sure.
stuff. And
But people get
yeah,
attacked even when, they're not alone at home, but there
yeah,
are other
yeah,
members of the family there or other people.
But at least
yeah.
they had to know that he is there.
Mm.
Especially if that wasn't his, like,
Primary domicile.
primary
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
address.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I think that was the main point, that it's like, how did they know that he was going to be there specifically when, especially when she wasn't there, because it's not his primary residence, but
Yeah,
yeah.
but do we know at this point that he was definitely the original target, or could it be that the woman was the target, but she was not at home,
True.
and the guy
True,
was
true, true.
there, and then he
True.
was killed? Yeah.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Yes. So yeah, the police obviously question this, who knew that she was gone, because that's their possible lead, into thinking, okay, who would know this? And the wife had said that only a small circle of people knew that she would be out of town: her coworkers, the victim, and the victim's children. And these children were from a previous marriage. So, yeah, so basically, very, very, very small group of people knew that he was going to be there. At least
Hmm.
he, and possibly she wasn't. So, kind of like, yeah. So, more about the victim. The victim had a son and daughter, and the son is 20 years old, and he lives in Rauma. But on Tuesday, so the same night same morning, I guess this happened, he happened to be in Tampere because his father had gotten him a car. And so this victim, he apparently works, or worked at a dealership, or was like a co-owner or something like that. He had connections basically to a car dealership. And so the son was supposed to pick up kind of a car that day from the dad, right, in Tampere.
Hmm.
So Rauma to Tampere is maybe, I don't know, a couple hours, 3 hours, something like that, 2-3 hours drive. And the son is, I guess, kind of normal, went to trade school there, and then, yeah, only visiting Tampere to see his dad. And then the daughter, there's not that much information on, but she's a bit younger. And yeah, so.
Where was the son staying, or was he not staying overnight?
Yeah, I guess he
just
wasn't staying
remember.
at this
Okay.
place. So
Mhm.
yeah. And I don't know if it was like he was arriving in the morning, or it doesn't really state whether he was like arriving early in the morning then to meet up with his dad when his dad came to work, or if he stayed the night on Monday night to be in Tampere early. But yeah. So I mean, you can catch a bus also in the morning and be there like quite early. So
Mhm.
So yeah, a bit more about the victim. Early in his children's life, he was an alcoholic, and it stated that he was the kind of father that his children would not have missed, which is kind of sad because he was just, I guess, too much in the drink.
Mhm.
And the father and mother divorced 8 years prior, so when his son was 12 years old, and I guess the daughter was even younger than that because at the time of this murder, she was underaged, so she was probably like, I don't know, at least 8 or younger when
Yeah.
this happened. And the relationship got a bit better with his kids, or with the son at least, though still not very warm, since the father became sober like in the previous year, and he'd kind of gotten his life back together. He started exercising and just kind of doing better in his life, right? And yeah, so he would stay in contact with the son but very rarely met him. But the daughter, they had a more normal connection, and they met quite often, and like a more normal father-child relationship, basically. And the son would at times receive money from the father, and had also previously gotten a car from the dad. So not this one that he was going to get, but even before that, he would usually get a car from his dad. So kind of nice of him to do that for his son, in my opinion.
Mm.
Going back to the airsoft pistol that I said was left at the apartment, and like I said, the wife basically said that that's not ours. It wouldn't be in my apartment. It's kind of weird that it was there. So that's kind of like, okay, obviously this is this is something to look at, right?
Yeah.
And funnily, it was wrapped in a plastic fruit bag. So also need to describe this in Finland. So when you go to a grocery store, except for Lidl, you don't have to do this in Lidl, you always have to weigh your fruit and vegetables, and you put it like on this on a scale, and then you press like the number that is designated for that particular fruit or vegetable, and it'll print out a nice barcode. So it basically weighs it, and then it kind of adds up the amount of price that you should pay for that one thing. So then when you bring it to the cashier, all the cashier has to do is scan the barcode, and then you get charged for how many fruits or vegetables you bought, right?
So you're
So
explaining this because this is never done in the US?
no, this is not done. No.
Like
No.
ever? It's always the cashier weighing your...
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's more like a Lidl style kind of thing. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Which is always annoying. Like when I came to Finland and I was like, fuck, I forgot the the tag, and I'd always have to like run back while 10 people are waiting behind you in line and kind of angrily just like, God damn it, they forgot their
Yeah.
tag, It's always embarrassing a bit. So
And it's annoying that it's not the same in every store, so you
yeah.
have to kind of
I mean,
know.
Lidl is weird anyway.
Yeah. But that's the
It's like
American
going
style.
to abroad.
Yeah. It just speeds up everything, and you kind of know how much you're paying for your fruit before you can also kind of like, oh, I
Yeah.
wanted a kilo, and then okay, I get my kilo price or
But
whatever.
also in Lidl, you can weigh it. You just don't have the
Yeah,
option
don't.
to print out the sticker.
Yeah, true. But yeah, so the stickers is the main thing, right? Because usually it has, the date that it was bought at, and then the
Mhm.
place also, like the city or
Mhm.
Prisma Idea Park or something like
Basically,
that.
the name of the supermarket. Like
Yes, exactly.
supermarket
So
verified.
yeah, exactly. And then
Also
also the price of
fingerprints,
it.
probably.
Yeah. So basically on the tag it has the name of the market, the date, the price of the fruit, and then the kilo price of it. Like the price that you pay and then the kilo price of the fruit or whatever, and then the barcode. So this tag was, of course, on the plastic fruit bag that was wrapping the airsoft pistol, and the shop that it was at was called Mestarin Herkku. So, like, fuck. How
I
would you
mean, that's
translate delicatesse? Like,
delicatess of the master, but I mean that
yeah,
sounds
yeah. It's
like
kind
a
of
supermarket name, very
yeah. It's
classic.
a really shitty kind of name, but yeah, like
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yes, yeah. Delicatessen of the master. It also sounds a bit like dirty. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, don't translate. It sounds just dirty in English.
Yeah. And this Mestarin Herkku is located in Jyväskylä. Dun dun dun.
Mhm.
So investigators then find that only 7 bananas of the same price have been bought during that Monday in the Mestarin Herkku. So they, of course, look at the surveillance cameras during that time, right? And they reveal that a man bought a banana at 10:46 and is soon seen walking towards the Jyväskylä travel center where buses and stuff leave from Jyväskylä. But I was like, why the fuck did he put one banana in a bag? I just don't get
Yeah,
that.
Yeah,
Like,
not very
exactly.
environmental.
No,
I
but
don't.
really, like, why would you do that? A banana already has a cover, so you can
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
put the sticker on the peel.
But
yeah.
also, I think the whole like, why do you go to supermarket? Like supermarket, it has
Mm,
everything that will ensure the failure. They collect all data. They
yeah,
love data of
yeah,
their client customers.
yeah. I
Just
wonder if you
don't
use
go to
the
supermarket.
asiakaskortti. That would be also funny.
Yeah.
If you use like the customer card.
And you can see that his username is Musta
Mustakolmi.
Kolmio.
Yeah. So basically, okay, we're kind of zeroing in on someone, right? There from Jyväskylä, there was a bust, and then that kind of brings you back to the very beginning of the story where a guy arrives from Jyväskylä to Tampere,
Mhm.
right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. But then actually one thing that I did think that maybe the bag was because the start of COVID, started around springtime, so maybe it was something to do with that, but maybe not. Anyway, that was just my possible explanation for the
I
bag,
mean, a
but
lot of people just take the bag even if they buy one thing.
true. Yeah, true.
Or he knew that he will need the bag for the pistol, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so this part was a bit confusing, but so the cops kind of triangulate the phones from the travel center, so the Jyväskylä travel center to the Tampere travel center, or like the bus terminal. And then they cross-check this with the numbers that have traveled the same distance. So from like the shop in Jyväskylä to the crime scene. So basically, okay, this phone pings here at the travel center, this phone pings here in Tampere. So we have a list of numbers then from this bus basically.
This is some
And
good technical investigation.
yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, I was very very happy with this investigation. So we can add this to another case that they did things correctly. And then so they had a list of people that traveled from Jyväskylä to Tampere, and then they were like, okay, then we can also triangulate the people who went the same distance basically from Jyväskylä to the crime scene, because I guess there's different towers or something, whatever. I don't know the
I mean,
technicality of it.
nice that they did this, but
Yeah.
also sounds pretty basic. That
Yeah,
this is what they're
basic.
supposed to do.
Yeah, exactly. But I think most of the cases that we have, it's like they don't do even the basics.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
True. True.
I'm happy with the basics. So it turns out that the phone subscription that was being used, so they found basically one phone subscription that was being used by a 19-year-old male and a 20-year-old female. So, and these two people live at the same address in Jyväskylä. So we were kind of correct with the young lovers at the beginning with their messages. Not trying to discount young people, but I don't know. The style of writing is definitely a giveaway.
Yeah,
I
at
just
first I
thought
thought that
they are
maybe they were very
playing.
smart.
Yeah, that they are smart and they're playing young people.
Yeah, I thought the same. Yes.
Oh, you gave them too much credit. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so the police access passport registration photos because they're able to do that. And then they cross-reference the photo with the phone subscriber that they found, and then the video surveillance in the, well, I guess the bus terminal, but it was probably pretty grainy and shitty, but definitely the video surveillance in the market where he bought the banana. Yay. So they're like, okay, we definitely got this guy. And so a day and a half later, after the brutal murder, the police arrive at the couple's apartment. And the police immediately notice that the man has a wound on his finger that requires stitches. So yeah. So now is just a little bit of background into the perpetrator and the girlfriend. So this is the part that I laughed out loud at. And when I also told Ante, he also laughed out loud because I just find it hilarious that, of course, it's this type of person. So do you guys want to guess where they met? Like, where this couple met?
Web?
Huh?
The dark web.
No. You want to guess?
Tinder.
No.
Wait.
met.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's
yeah,
guess
what?
some more.
Yeah.
Wait. I don't know. Wait, but I do want to guess. Petra, do you have any more guesses?
Tampere?
No.
In a bar or something at school?
No.
But it has to be something funny. Well, go ahead.
Okay. So they met at a religious camp in 2015.
Ah, okay.
Alrighty then. Murder in the name of Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I wouldn't have guessed this, but now that you told us, I can see why.
Yeah. So after this camp, they started dating, and then the couple moved in together in 2019 when the man went to army service. And of course, in Finland, it's mandatory for men to go to the army for at least 6 months or a year if you want to be a cop or other type of person like that. So yeah, so he went to army service, but they're living in Jyväskylä at a small flat, normal, whatever. And of course, there's like other information about this couple. There's quite a lot of information, just kind of their background and their personalities and etc. But part of it was a bit irrelevant in my mind. And even like some of the stuff that I'm going to share is a bit irrelevant too, but it gives you a bit of a picture of this couple. Yeah. So apparently the man did not have any close friends in recent years, and the woman had some. So it kind of paints a picture that they're a bit of a loner couple, right? And
Like
the couple's
regular Finnish people.
Okay, yeah, maybe.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. And the couple's relationship was open. So they had apparently the woman was she was sleeping with other people, but he wasn't. That this part is kind of irrelevant in my mind, but whatever. Not saying that people in open relationships are murderers, but still. So, and like there's other things too, like the woman apparently was very what is the word I'm looking for? Oh fuck, I should have written it down. She kind of flew off the handle or made really rash decisions. So she just seemed very immature and not really her age. Impulsive, yeah. She was very impulsive. And she had very low self-confidence and stuff, but the guy was at least good and tried to like, boost her up and etc. So and it just seems kind of like a young couple who was unsure of themselves and just whatnot. It's just
Yeah, nothing really weird this far.
no,
Like,
and that's the
would
thing too.
explain this whole
Yeah.
act.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like, none of them had, like, when the police went into the couple's background, like, of course, the couple was short on money from time to time. The woman worked part-time as a personal assistant. The man was unemployed. And, like, during 2019, he completed his military service. And basically, I don't know, like, pretty normal couple, except for, well, I don't know, except for this stuff that like came out of this, obviously. And yeah, but then one thing though that the man had, like, when he was 8 years old, he apparently experienced a trauma that had affected him deeply, and he apparently had lost someone close to him who was more important to him than his mother or father. And details about the person, or like this person who he lost, has been withheld from the investigation report, or like the preliminary investigation report that was this article was based off that I was reading. So it's kind of like, okay, we've all lost someone important in our lives, so I feel like deep emotional trauma, I don't know, it seems a bit of
I mean,
a lame.
that doesn't make you a murderer,
No,
usually.
no.
Yeah.
No. And then, oh yeah, the other funny thing too was that the couple got engaged a few hours before the police arrived at their door. So he popped the question to her before they
How
arrested
romantic.
them. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So already during the interrogations on the 30th of January, the guy admits that he was the killer, so he didn't really last that long. And then the DNA and fingerprints and other evidence supported this, obviously.
So wait. So the date when the police showed up at their apartment was the 30th of.
No, 29th. Ooh, did I say the 30th? But I meant the 29th.
Yeah, of
No,
January.
January 29th. Yeah. Yes.
And when
Yes.
was the attack or murder?
Fuck. I think I made that error wrong. So I think it was actually on the 28th of.
Yeah, I didn't notice an error. I just didn't write it down. So I was kind of trying to think how long it took
Yeah,
to the police to kind
basically.
of get
Yeah, quite
to
a
this
fast
point.
investigation.
Mhm.
Yeah, a day and a half basically is what
Mhm, okay.
took them. Yeah. So the 30th of January, he admits it. So the next day, so basically 2 days later, he admits that he's the killer. And then he says his intention was to rob someone, not kill someone. He got into the victim's house by pretending to be a neighbor, locked out in his bathrobe. And he tied the victim up and then attempted to get the victim's bank account details to buy Bitcoin. But then the victim got loose and started attacking the perpetrator. And that's why he had to use the knife on the victim and stab him dozens of times to kill him. Yeah. Makes perfect sense, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit of an overkill.
Yeah. And I mean, the cops were obviously asking the right questions. They were like, okay, sure. But why leave Jyväskylä to go all the way to Tampere to then walk 5 kilometers to rob a quote unquote random person for maybe some money that they may or may not have? Because of course, if you did actually research on this person, then you would know, okay, they have a good job, they're living in, like, why not choose a person who's actually wealthy in like a rich ass part of Tampere or Jyväskylä or somewhere else, to like rob, if that was your intention, right? Yeah. So the cops really aren't buying his story that it was supposed to be a robbery at the beginning. And then other evidence from the perpetrator's apartment included an assassin book. So it was basically one of these books that kind of teaches you about poisons and gases and stuff like that. And then there was also a New Year's card from the girlfriend that they found that read, "For the coming year, I hope you fulfill your dream as a hitman."
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Mm.
So she obviously fucking knew what was going on. Like,
Mhm.
like with this whole fucking thing. And like, okay, later I'm just gonna ruin the surprise, but I don't find anywhere that she gets tried as like an accessory or like aiding and abetting murder, because she obviously knew what was going to fucking happen. She was like, "Oh, how are you doing? What's up? What are you?" You know, like up
Yeah.
right before the fucking murder, and then
Yeah.
this. I hope you fulfill your dream as a fucking hitman.
Mm-mm.
Like, and
Yeah,
she
it's a
and
little bit hard to imagine that she didn't know about this. And also,
yeah,
didn't he send that message in the end? That was like
yes,
after all the cutesy talk, and then I saw a fox and whatever, and then in the end he was like, "Oh, I don't know, I fucked up" or something super clear. So,
that was to a different user. That was to the Siganiska
but
94.
also to her, I think he sent something.
Oh yeah,
Something like
when to piss basically. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah, and then she had apparently wanted. There's way more information on this case too. This is a very condensed version, but apparently she had even wanted to come with him on this. So she definitely knew what was going to happen. She was interested also in on this fucking whole scheme, basically. So I wonder why she didn't get anything, like any sentence. At least I couldn't find that she got a sentence.
maybe it was just too vague. Like, okay, she knew, but how sure was she that this is actually going to happen? And like, if she didn't play any part in it, I don't know how it goes legally.
Maybe.
He
Or
wasn't
yeah,
even charged with anything, so there was
yeah,
no.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, well,
At least
that's
as
kind
far
of.
as I, at least
Mhm.
as far as I couldn't, at least as far as I couldn't find. So yeah, yeah. But anyway, so moving on, we're almost near the end. But
Yeah,
so
like
any
what's the
guesses?
deal?
Yeah. So any guesses on who hired Musta Kolmio? Can you
Well,
guys
probably
guess?
the Sikaniska.
Yes. Well, yes, it was Siganiska 94. But
I
do
wait
you have an idea
94.
who?
The girlfriend of the victim.
I thought it was the son.
Yes, yes, it was the son indeed.
Mm.
Oh.
And he's definitely a piece of work. Um, yeah, he's kind of like a gym bro, I guess. He used steroids. He was a very, very heavy drinker. So I guess taking after his father in that regard, but even an asshole. So like, okay, his father had a drinking problem, but this guy had a drinking problem plus a fucking like murderous intention problem, you know?
Mhm.
Um, and some witnesses said he could like spend 500 euros a night at a bar, which I'm like, holy fuck.
That's
How?
not that hard in Finland, but okay,
Really?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, okay,
Really?
yeah, sure.
I
Well, it
mean,
depends. Is it just for you, or are you paying for other people's drinks?
I'm guessing you would have to pay for other people, but I guess like if you okay, go to a bar, buy a bottle of something and but still, like I think the most I've ever spent at a bar at night was like 100 and something euros, and that was
Yeah, yeah.
like I'm dying.
Yeah, but okay, even if you double that, like let's say a grown-up man who has a long history with alcohol can probably drink
Yeah.
a lot more than you, but
Yeah.
still
But I found
500
it
is a lot.
yeah, it's yeah, even with the prices in Finland that's a fuck ton. Yeah. Um so yeah, basically for the longest time he denied that he had anything to do with the father's murder, but also at the murderer's apartment they found a driver's license picture, an electric bill, and a picture of himself to prove. So basically, Musta Kolmio had this kind of necessity. If you hire him as a contract killer, you must send your driver's license picture, an electric bill, and a picture of yourself to prove that you're actually serious about this murder taking place.
Hmm.
And also probably
And
as collateral, and like, okay, if you
and
fuck me
he
over,
and
then I
he
have. Yeah.
printed all that out and took it with himself to the murder scene.
No, it was at the apartment.
Ah, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, and then it was like one other thing too that the son, like year even now he still says that he had nothing to do with his father's murder, but he says that his Snapchat was hacked, and that's how like some photos and stuff were gotten, and basically like he got hacked, and then that's the reason why this guy has his random driver's license and picture and electric bill was on his phone and whatever. So he's basically saying that someone hacked him, someone's framing him for this whole thing. and it was this Mustakolmio who wanted to kill someone who basically is framing him for his father's murder.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
very hard to
some
believe.
skill. Yeah, like how could have the Mustakolmio picked up this father and
Yes,
the son, and like it's just
exactly.
too random.
Yeah, like how could he have known that the father would be alone at the apartment that he didn't live at, and like just all these
They
things.
all
It
live
just
in
doesn't.
different cities.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
not
So
convenient in any way.
no,
Yeah.
no. So definitely wasn't. Definitely, and then I think there was something to do with the phone as well, like the Wicker and that type of stuff too, because obviously they were able to find the messages, and yeah. So it's all sorts of fucked up that he denies it, but he definitely was the one who hired him. So yeah. Okay, so now on the 26th of March 2021, the Pirkanmaa district court hands down a verdict. So Aatu Viljami Halonen, 20 years old, guilty of soliciting murder, and Mika Markus Aleksi Hytönen, 19, guilty of carrying out the act. And they're both sentenced to life in prison. So yeah, so basically this is the first murder for hire not the first murder for hire in Finland, but the first murder for hire arranged online. So
Mhm.
that's the kind of thing I was like, when I was reading this, like the headline, and I was like, that can't be right. There has to be more murder for hires in Finland. And indeed there are. There's like a couple, I think 3 or 4 or something. This is the 4th contract killing conviction in Finland in 2 decades. So within the past 20 years, there's only been 4 contract killings. But this is the first one
Not
to
too
actually,
common.
not too common, but the first one to be arranged online. And
That
do
we
you
know
guys,
of.
that we know of, yeah. So yeah, do you guys want to guess what the initial fee was going to be that Mika Markus
Oh
Aleksi
yeah,
Hytönen
yeah.
was going to request from Aatu Viljami Halonen?
I say 10,000.
What do
Wait,
you say?
wait. Didn't he say in that one of those first messages that the price is 49,000 or something like that?
Yeah, but you can guess whatever you want. But he said the price might go up if it's difficult. So
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
so then, and is it
Well,
difficult?
I don't know.
let's say 90,000 then.
No, 429,000, not 49,000.
Oh, wait a minute. 4,000.
Yes, joo.
What?
4-9.
Oh,
Was this guy
that
was
cheap?
willing to kill a
4 to
person for
5,000?
4,000?
4,000 to 9,000. Yes.
I thought it's
Oh
49,000. I was like,
my
that's a kind of a
god.
specific number. What?
I like when I said 10,000, I was kind of kidding. Like, haha, probably something really low, like 10,000. Okay.
Oh,
Well,
okay,
I
let's
say
guess again.
5,000. Yeah.
Okay, I say 7,000.
Can you keep your 10, Petra? Or
No, 5. I changed it to
oh,
5.
okay, Petra, you were right off the bat. It was 10,000 euros.
It was 10. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it got a bit higher then.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's so
That's,
disappointing. Like, oh,
I don't know. Like, my image of like
mhm.
from the movie assassinations, of course, it's usually
Yeah.
more politics and stuff, but still that they're like you do one assassination in a while and then you live and you don't need to do it very often because you get so
yeah.
well
Mhm.
paid, and that's why you are willing to kind of lose everything if you get caught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very risky. Like 4 or 5,000. Like, what the fuck? It's nothing. Even 10
Oh,
is
this
very low. Even
guy.
50 would be, I would think that's very low.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Agreed.
like mine starts from 1 million.
Okay, good to know, Petra. Yes, good to know if I ever need anybody killed. But yeah, so
I would,
this money
I'm
would
not
have been
saying.
yeah. But yeah, so this 10,000 euros would have been paid from the inheritance received after the death of Aatu's father. So yeah, and like I said, Aatu denies anything to do with the murder, and then there's no news about the girlfriend, and yeah, but yeah. But I did one more thing. I did like the article that there's Tuomas Rimpilainen wrote this Yle article that I liked quite a lot. There's other articles I used from Yle and from Ilta-Sanomat and whatnot, but the title was called Anonyymi murhapalvelu maksubitcoineina. Kun kaksi suomalaista nuorukaista löysi toisensa netissä, seuraukset olivat kohtalokkaat. And I was like, which translates to anonymous murder service paid by Bitcoin. When two Finnish youths find each other on the net, the consequences are deadly. So yeah, it's very,
That's
very
flashy.
yeah, it's kind of catchy.
I was just very surprised that there were so many details publicly available about kind of any case in Finland.
Yeah. That's why I was like,
remember reading this, like that it had all these fake screenshots, but like very detailed the messaging and everything.
Yeah. I was like, fuck. I almost messaged you guys yesterday. I'm like, I'm not gonna get these notes done. This is more detailed than I thought. Fuck. But yeah, I did it.
But it was very well, like I don't know if it was summarized, but still, like, yeah, we got to the point.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
That's it. I mean, don't murder your parents, and don't hire anybody else to do it either. That would be my takeaway
Like,
message.
and just generally, maybe don't murder.
Yeah. Okay. Don't murder. Yeah. No murder. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. Well, I guess, you said that if these people get out, maybe we shouldn't say too, I don't know,
mean of things,
them. But I don't think they were very smart.
No.
Yeah, I mean, they were basically kids, almost kids.
Yeah.
It's so young, 19.
Yeah, but even if they get out in 12 years, they're still going to be like 31, 32 years old. So think about that.
Yeah. And well, there's a good chance that they will get out.
Yeah. At least, yeah. I mean, at least the Aatu for hiring the guy, because that's a bit less of a charge. I mean, they still got both life, but yeah. But then you also feel for his sister, who had actually a close relationship with the father, and I don't know, and it just seemed like and then also the common law wife and stuff. Like, no one had any reason to murder this guy. He was getting his life together, which is a bit sad, and like he got off, he quit alcohol and was becoming more fit, and
it doesn't sound like there was a good enough reason to have him killed. Not that there's ever a good enough reason, but like nothing that serious.
I mean, I don't think there was much abuse or any abuse. At least it didn't say in any of the articles that there was abuse between the father. It's just that he was an alcoholic. And the son, I think, like, there were some other cases too where he would like jump on the hood of the car or like kick the car that his father gave him. He just sounded kind of like a spoiled brat, in my opinion. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sounds like they had a complicated family life and everything, but
yeah. No cause for murder, but yeah.
Yeah,
so, yeah,
I guess like, if you hate your parents, just don't hang out with them when
just don't talk to them.
It's very easy. Yeah,
but don't accept cars
or money from your father if you really hate them so much. Yeah.
Because I mean, if he spent that much on like drinking and whatever, then I don't know, doesn't sound like he was that poor. I guess there was no suspicion about the hitman guy that this would not have been his first case, right?
I think
probably not.
I think this was his first case. Like, they
kind of sounds pretty.
They found all this like
not too experienced.
Message board.
Yeah. But like, who has a fucking wish that I'm going to be a hitman? That seems so delusional as well, right?
Yeah. Yes. I guess he watched a lot of movies and it sounded like this cool thing.
Yeah, maybe he played Hitman. Yeah, he played the video game Hitman and watched the movie, and he was like, yeah, I want to be bald and play and do that in real life. Yeah.
to actually do it. So it's, I mean, I'm not saying that a lot of
Mm.
people have these like wishes or fantasies that I want to be a hitman, but maybe some kids do.
Mm. Mm.
But then to actually do it and go out and like travel all that way, like he had to really
Yeah.
plan it and think
Yeah.
about it. So it wasn't like a heat of the moment thing at all.
No.
To actually go through with it, that takes like a really big leap from
Yeah.
just kind of fantasizing about being a hitman.
Agreed. Yeah.
Wow, that was very interesting.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to that. So, do you have the next episode, Victoria?
I don't really have a hint yet because I still need
No.
to kind of decide what it will be, but most likely it's going to be a Hungarian case.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. All right.
This
Thank
was
you for.
yeah.
Oh no, you go. You can give me praise or thanks or whatever you want. No.
No, I mean, I just want to say sorry that we laughed so much because, of course, very sad for the
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously
but
it's
I mean,
yeah.
there was lots of weird details.
Yeah, I think we weren't really laughing at the victim, definitely
yeah.
not. But the perpetrator, who's just so movie-like, it's almost like comical.
Yeah, it's kind
I
of
think
these
that's
like
the
shitty
part.
movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
taking
I mean, it's
inspiration
still,
from.
of course, very sad and
Yeah.
yeah, but just kind
Yeah,
of
I think.
how everything unfolded was very absurd.
Yeah. I just hope that like Otto is, I don't know, at least sorry or he takes accountability, for his father's murder. Like, I just feel like I didn't get that he from the articles that he felt any remorse, which is really fucked up in my opinion. So yeah, because I mean, his death of his father didn't just affect him; it affects all the other people in his life. So just
Yeah.
a bit of a
Well,
pity.
he can write a book about it in prison.
Yeah, but hopefully he doesn't get any proceeds. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
That
That
is
was
it from me.
great.
Yeah. Follow us on Instagram, people, and thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.